Good evening and welcome to the Windham Southeast Supervisory Union's January meeting. This meeting of the WSESU will come to order. This meeting is a hybrid meeting, which means that some or all of the public body is meeting remotely and some are meeting physically in a previously noticed location where the public would attend to observe, listen, and participate contemporaneously. Please note that while we will strive to provide means for those attending remotely to participate in the public comment period, there may be technical difficulties or reasons that otherwise prevent or interrupt remote public participation. Therefore, it is important to note that the open meeting law only ensures the public's right to participate and comment at a public meeting by attending at the designated physical location as posted in the notice and agenda. If a member of the public or the public body has technical difficulties accessing this meeting remotely, please alert us by email. In the event of a technical difficulty that cannot be resolved, we may continue the meeting if necessary to time and place certain. Please note that all the votes taken during this meeting that are not unanimous will be done by roll call in accordance with the law. Which is kind of unnecessary because we are all in the room. I would like to make a very brief change to the agenda. We'll start with the top. We wanted to express our thanks to our producer from BCPD, Peter, and we meant to thank you before December ended, but we appreciate all that you do for us and all that you're doing for everybody around here. We could count on you, and you're very helpful and very kind and thoughtful, and we appreciate what you do for us. And we have a little something for you. It's a little something.
Thank you.
You are Thank you, Peter. Thank you, everybody.
See, the camera should be on you, Peter.
I know.
We should
I don't like being on camera.
You think we do?
Yeah.
Okay. No, really, Peter, thank you so much for all that you do for us. I would now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Thank you. Mark, you have an administrative report for us?
Yeah, very brief. Actually have no new hires or retirements to announce tonight. But what I will share, as I shared at the Vernon board meeting on Monday night, is that we are in the midst of our winter benchmark period at all of our schools. So we're visiting each individual school, working with the administration at the school, teaching teams, looking at the results of the winter benchmarks, and planning ahead for some goal setting for now till the end of the school year. So it's been very thorough, great process. I think we have 2 schools left, Guilford and Vernon, tomorrow and Friday. But it's such a great opportunity to get a sense of how things are going across the school district and to get a sense on where our data is trending. And signs are good. So we are maintaining progress that we've made over the last 3 years, and in many cases moving forward. So that, along with the annual report, is coming together. We'll be looking forward to the summit in February. Again, the focus of that February summit is moves that we're making pre-K through 12 to increase graduation rates. So there'll be a core group of us representing the team. But we're in the beginning stages of putting that presentation together. I think it'll be very informative. Lastly, grade level meetings are starting up next week. This is an opportunity where we provide a half of a day for teachers to come together across the district to collaborate, engage in professional development, and plan. It's a really great opportunity, especially for those single grade schools who don't have a grade level partner. But it's also just a great opportunity to work as a school system and to get a sense of how we're doing across schools. Also an opportunity to set up opportunities for future peer observation across schools. So that has been something we've been working towards, and we do have some positive stories of that taking place. Most recently in the winter benchmark meetings, school principals have been visiting each school and providing peer observations. So that's been an engaging process. So it's a busy time of year, exciting time of year, kind of a time of year where it's like halfway through. Here's where we're at, here's where we want to be, and what are the moves we're going to make to get there. So that's kind of where we're at.
Thank you. I wanted to point out for anyone who wasn't aware that it's not normal for a superintendent to attend the benchmark data meetings, and I appreciate the extra effort that Mark is putting in, because it's a very important measure of what we do.
Yeah.
And your attention to it, I'm sure, is making a difference, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Frank is not joining us tonight with this club dates.
I had already seen an email to that effect, so, but the agenda was already out, so I just left it there,
Yep.
if any. We have now come to the portion for public comment on non-agenda items.
I just have a question, and I do have a staff member retiring who has submitted her letter,
Okay.
and I didn't notice it in past minutes, and I would assume it would be announced here at the SU, not the SD. So,
Can Brandy announce it?
I mean, I don't.
If you got the letter, then I don't see why not.
I mean, I got a letter, and she gave me the letter.
I just
So.
wanna
It
make
didn't
sure-
reach the packet tonight, so.
Yeah, and I just don't know about timelines for retirement, and they're like, the business of getting in by a certain date. But anyway, Martha Healy Nelson, who has been an early childhood special educator on this team for 15 years and has served not only during those 15 years a tremendous number of children and families and staff, teachers in the field. Prior to that, she worked in early intervention at the Winston Prouty Center for 13 years and came here from out of state doing that work. So she's been doing this work for quite a long time, and she has touched an incredible number of lives, and she is an incredibly skilled and knowledgeable practitioner, and we've been working over the last couple of years in anticipation of her retirement, trying to exacerbate all of her, extract all of her knowledge of teaming. She's incredible, does a lot of work teaming. She knows the resources both locally and statewide, and she also was, prior to my knowing this beautiful young boy, but was the early intervention boys interventionist for my twin stepchildren, and so it's a huge loss for our team, but she's very active in the community and will continue that way, and I just really value the opportunity to publicly appreciate the work that she's done for all of these many families in our community. We've been really lucky, and she's leaving us hard shoes to fill, for sure.
Most of our employees don't get a send-off that lovely, Brandy, so I would entertain a motion to accept the retirement of Martha Healy Nelson with their thanks and regret.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Thank you for what you said, and thank you, Martha, for your service to our students. I'm not seeing any public here with their hands up. Hi, Bryn, I didn't see you come in, but that's because I have to stare at my computer a lot of the time. Okay. I would now entertain a motion to enter into executive session under 1 V.S.A. 313A3, the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer or employee, provided that the public body shall make a final decision to hire or appoint a public officer or employee in an open meeting, and it shall explain the reasons for the final decision during the open meeting.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? We'll now enter into executive session at 5:10. We are rising from executive session at 5:21, and I would entertain a motion with regard to a contract.
Madam Chair, I would like to move that that the supervisory union hire Mark Spino as our superintendent for the period July 1st of this year, 2026, through June 30th of 2031.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Thank you. Thank you, Mark, for all that you've done. Thank you for what you continue to do. Thank you for the changes you've been able to make that are making up for our losses during COVID. We're recovering more quickly than most of the districts in the state.
Thank you for your confidence in me. It's an honor to represent this school system and our communities and to work for the sport. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And given the situation, I'm glad for the stability that we're able to provide, which could be, the other stabilities could be yanked out from under us anytime, but this one is there.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much. Under new business, for consideration, a letter of support to the Winooski School District, which we discussed last night in the SD meeting. They've had a student taken by ICE and have been taking steps. And the Hartford School Board, I believe, drafted this lovely letter, and the SD Board voted to sign on to it last night, and I was hoping to entertain a motion to sign on to it for us tonight.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Thank you very much. Okay, also
Quick one.
yes,
Mark, are we able to put your name on this one as well?
excellent, thank you. And Deborah and I will figure out how this is supposed to go forward from us. We don't know exactly if we're supposed to sign Hartford's letter or send our own. Should we send it to Winooski? To send it to someone else? I don't know.
Okay.
And to perhaps coordinate names so that there's less redundancy.
Yeah, that's true.
Overlap, perhaps. Yes, we'll figure it out.
Okay, also in new business, presented for first reading in policy, D15 Travel Reimbursement and G17 Proficiency-Based Grade Requirements. If there are any questions, you could bring them up tonight, or you can bring them to the policy committee where they will. These are always policies that have already been adopted by the SD board when they're brought up with numbers like this. Okay, under old business, presented for a second reading, F5, searches, seizures, and interrogation of students by law enforcement personnel or other non-school personnel. F37, district equity policy. And G13, acceptable use of electronic resources and the internet. Again, any discussion, you are welcome to please bring it to the policy committee for any possible changes, which would also go to the SD board. The following are presented for adoption: F8, student medication; D12, prevention of harassment of employees; E19, behavioral threat assessment teams; and C10, superintendent evaluation. I guess they've given it an actual number
Is that
now.
the number now?
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please.
Are you discussing what are you discussing?
The adoption of these new policies.
Oh, of course, I have a comment to make about the superintendent evaluation policy.
Of course.
Okay, so I'd like to briefly revisit this question of including teaching staff voices in the superintendent evaluation process. This conversation, as you know, has been ongoing for more than 3 years, and during that time, I have not heard a clear or compelling rationale for excluding teachers in the process. especially given that their role would be strictly advisory. Nothing in the proposed changes that I made, nothing in the proposal changes the SU board's statutory authority. The board would still retain full responsibility for the evaluation for contract decisions and for superintendent compensation. Teacher input would not bind the board or compel action. It would simply provide the relevant information to inform your judgment. From a governance standpoint, teachers are uniquely positioned to speak to how the superintendent's leadership affects instruction, staffing retention and satisfaction, and organizational and school climates. Excluding teacher perspectives only narrows the information available to the SU committee. Strong boards do not weaken their authority by seeking informed input and outside perspectives. They strengthen it. If you truly value and respect the voices of our teaching staff, then you will finally include a brief teacher survey as part of the superintendent evaluation process. The survey could be modeled after WNSED's model, which includes questions such as: provide strong organizational vision, direction, and leadership. Why not get the teacher's perspective on that kind of question? Or encourages and models a positive work environment for staff, something the staff can well speak to. Or is fiscally responsible for providing budgetary leadership and accountability. Or encourages and welcomes active engagement of parents, families, and community members. These are the kinds of questions that teachers can add a very important perspective. And again, after 3 years of discussion, I still have not heard a compelling reason to exclude the teachers from the evaluation process. So that's all I have to say for now.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Should I respond?
If you'd like to, sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
You wanted to know if you could respond to Tim, but yeah, sure. This is not public comment on non-agenda items. This is public comment on an agenda item, so sure.
Okay, so you said you had not heard compelling reasons, so I'd like to offer a couple, and perhaps they'll find them compelling or not. But as I thought about what this would involve, it strikes me that teachers, although they are affected down the line by some of the things that the superintendent does, some of the things that they may feel the superintendent is doing may also be things that the superintendent's staff are doing. So I think it'd be pretty hard to differentiate whether that's the superintendent or members of their staff. For example, if there's a question related to communication, does the superintendent communicate well? Not all the superintendent's communication comes directly from the superintendent. It also goes through other staff and through the principals. So how would someone really make that determination? And I think more importantly, the superintendent, as a higher level participant in our school community, should really be evaluated on system-wide goals and continuous improvement goals that relate to student performance, rather than what teachers particularly think about what the superintendent is doing. And I know in previous meetings I was wondering if like a 360-degree evaluation process might be something that you're referring to that would be helpful. And I know that those can be very helpful, but as I've looked into what's involved in a 360-degree evaluation system, it's really the individual, their peers, their supervisor, and their immediate subordinates, which would not include teachers because they would not have direct knowledge of the superintendent's performance. And I think I could say more, but I think perhaps that's enough for right now.
Can I just remind everybody, we do have in our parking lot additional board survey instruments, state of the district survey, so
So there could be other things that we do.
that's what we've talked about.
That we offer, that would give teachers and other people in the community an opportunity to weigh in on how they think things are going.
And I agree, some of those questions would be about the superintendent, but some of them would be about the district. Some of them would be about, I don't know, sort of larger concepts like middle school. So it wouldn't just be about the superintendent, it would be about a lot of aspects of the district. And we have discussed that, and I'm sorry that December was completely destroyed for me. I have not been able to work on it. I have had unfortunate things I had to deal with.
If I could respond to Brian.
Yes?
Yeah, you had over 130 teachers who signed a petition, feeling that, yeah, they have a perspective that they would like to offer the board. I'm sorry, Brian, but your argument is not compelling to me. The reservations you have also apply to principals, apply to board members. The perspective that teachers have is unique. It gets to the heart of the matter, instruction in the classroom, which is ultimately what we evaluate the success of the district on. And ultimately, the CEO, the superintendent, is responsible for that. I just don't see how it would be such a problem for the SU to gather teacher perspectives and discern whether it's valid or not. It would only be informative. It would only add to the process. This is not unique. Other districts use it well. And so I'm sorry, that's just not compelling. But I mean, when you hear from over 130 teachers that, yeah, we want to be involved, how can you dismiss that?
May I? I don't think we're dismissing it, we're just saying this is not the spot. I don't know how many times I will continue to say this as long as I need to. The current survey that we use, I find excellent. It would not work for teachers, and I'm not going to waste 45 minutes of their time. I want feedback, I just want it in a different format. And that is what I believe this board is looking to do. That's all I can say. I understand you do not find my argument compelling. I can live with that. I find what Brian had to say compelling. I find what this board has had to say over 3 years compelling. And I'm happy, and I stand with this policy, and I'm ready to move on.
May I respond?
You may.
Carrie, for 3 years now, I've reiterated that we're not talking about teachers doing that 42 or 52 item survey. It would be a different, much briefer survey. That survey would be irrelevant to the teacher's experience. I don't know why you keep bringing up that it's not that 45-minute or 52 item survey is not relevant to the teachers. I agree, it's not, which is why I'm proposing, last year I proposed a 10 item survey, this year a different survey. Particularly tailored for teachers, a 7 item survey. So I don't know why you keep bringing up that 52 item survey is not relevant to teachers. That's off the table. And the survey that you're talking about, again, this was not really discussed. Well, this is an open meeting law situation. At the last meeting, you said that 2 people at different times spoke to you about the survey. I checked, and that's called a serial conversation, which is indeed a violation of open meeting law. But I'm not an open meeting law cop. I'm
But
not
I
gonna
didn't
press
discuss
that.
it with them, they discussed it with me. And if we want to discuss open meeting law violations, someone has advised me to take you to the Attorney General.
Okay.
At any
Well,
rate,
it's a tone, yeah.
we have said repeatedly that we intend to seek the teachers' opinions. This is regarding particularly the superintendent evaluation regarding his employment. This is the instrument we have chosen to use. It is not appropriate for teachers, but we have indicated repeatedly we intend to develop an instrument that will be used in general, both with the superintendent and with the district as a whole, because we do care about their opinion.
When are you going to discuss that in open meeting?
I don't know yet. I have not written that agenda yet. I've just been trying to get to budget season and my granddaughter's death. I'll write the new agenda when I get to writing the new agenda.
I did not know about that death, and I'm very sorry about that.
Can I call the question?
I have a motion to call the question before me. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? The question has been called. Do we need to read the motion again? No, we don't. It's to adopt F8, student medication, D12, prevention of harassment of employees, E19, behavioral threat assessment teams, and C10, superintendent evaluation. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? The policies are adopted.
And that was Brian who moved them,
Yes, it
correct?
was.
Okay. Making sure.
Is there any other business to add to the parking lot? I would now entertain a motion to enter into executive session under 1 V.S.A. 313A4, a disciplinary or dismissal action against a public officer or employee, but nothing in this subsection shall be construed to impair the right of such officer or employee to a public hearing if formal charges are brought. No action is anticipated this evening, so we will adjourn when the executive session is finished.
So moved.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
Are we inviting anybody in?
Inviting in Mark Spino, I'm sorry. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed or abstentions? We are entering executive session at 5:40 PM, and again, no actions anticipated, so you're all done for the evening.